Hello, hello, hello. We're just waiting for everyone to jump in here and get on. And you are in for a treat. I have been talking so much today that my throat is going to need a nice rest. So I will let our guest in a moment do most of the talking. If you're just jumping on for this, my name is Tara Diana. I'm an empowerment medium. I'm the founder of the Soul to Soul Summits. And this is where we get to bring all the beautiful metaphysical, holistic, spiritual, and wellness community together. And I love nothing more than to showcase these individuals that I feel are not only authentic, but that they have the most empowering words to share with you. So I'm seeing all these people just still trying to jump in here, which is so beautiful. So we'll give them a moment. Facebook, if you are watching me, then you are going to want to make sure that you are registered, my boos, because when you register, you get all the goodness. You get all the free gifties that come with this. Now, if you want to go VIP, baby, then you're going to get all the goodness. You get all the VIP prizes. They're not prizes, all the VIP gifts. You get all the free gifts that come with it. On top of that, you get all the recordings. There's so much goodness, you can't even keep up with it. And so without further ado, because I can feel my throat is about to call her quits, I would love, love, love nothing more to introduce a very good friend of mine, someone who's been in my world for long, long times, known me through thick and thin, literally through thick and thin, ups and downs and all sorts of things. I know him as Tien the Wizard, and he's going to tell you who he is himself. Tien, welcome to my space. We're talking about something big. This is a big topic. This is a powerful topic and one that I'm fully invested in. So, his topic, I should read it to you guys though. His topic today, I'm going to read it word for word here, is divine masculine and divine feminine. Does this provide more or less empowerment? This makes me laugh. Go, Tien, go.
Okay, my friends. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Oh, so exciting. Um, so some of you know me as Tien the Wizard, and Tien the Wizard is the guy who shows up and sells my amazing work as a goldsmith and my spells and all the magicy things. Absolutely, of course, Tara has a whole bunch of my work. It's so great, and um, and that's how I met Tara through her various spirit shows that she's hosted for a while, and we've become good friends over the years. And so most of you know me through that. And then I always like to say that myself as Tien the Wizard is actually my muggle job. It is my muggle job to be a wizard. And that simply means that actually my sole purpose really is what I'm here for to do here on planet Earth. It is to be the activator. I'm here to help humanity release and transcend old gender bound paradigms that keep you stuck from being your free, glorious soul. And
Mm.
that is my sole purpose. And I teach my work as Tien, your gender guide. So welcome. This is a Tien, your gender guide session. And I'm so happy you're here to listen. And, hopefully some activation will happen and you'll get to release some old concepts of yourself and start to open up to who you really are as light, as source, as divine, any of those words we use.
I love it. I'm so here
Sound
for this.
good?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. So here for this.
So do listen to this with curiosity, open heart, open mind. Um, don't worry about taking notes. We can be present and listen. You can get the recording after. And I want to be clear that what I teach is not like the truth or the only way to be about life. What I do teach is a wisdom that I experience as being channeled through me. And it is a wisdom that when my students take on and experience, they really get a whole new level of freedom and power and joy. I've been teaching this work for about 7 years, and this is actually the first official platform where I feel safe and supported by somebody, by Tara, to say this work, to talk about this work, particularly about this, the divine masculine, divine feminine, because it's very popular and a lot of spiritualists are really hanging on to it like it's a truth. And so when a moment I challenge it, oh, they get so upset. And the trans hatred just comes flying out at me. And, I'm a human being and I'm a Cancer. I'm not a Scorpio or a Leo or an Aries. I will go and lick my wounds if you throw me hatred and then I'll come back. So that has been my experience for about 5 years. So I'm just so pleased that I get to have this conversation today. So yay. Okay. So what is this thing that people are so into right now? This divine masculine and divine feminine thing. I get to see a few of you on the screen. So raise your hands. Those of you who use these words in your post are familiar with it. Those of you who practice this spiritual practice, those of you who talk about yourselves as divine masculine, divine feminine. I know a bunch of you are off video, so too bad. So, who of you uses these words? And it's not at all a judgment, I'm just curious. And because what I do know, yes, thank you there, Chris. What I do know about this practice is typically spiritualists calling women divine feminine and men divine masculine. And then any kind of deepening work of self, emotion, spiritual growth, and energy is talked about using these words. Is that kind of correct? Vaguely? All right, Shannon's nodding. Thank you. So what I hear is women are encouraged to call upon the divine feminine for empowerment and spiritual expansion. Men are encouraged to call upon the divine masculine for their own spiritual expansion. And they're also asked to sometimes call upon the other energy to balance themselves out. So the work of the feminists in present day time now is continuing to really expand the power of women that has been suppressed for centuries. We all know this, yes? The work is good and there's still more to go. And men now are reacting either by unlearning their sexist ways and perhaps amping it up because, their misguided power is now being threatened and crumbling and, they're being threatened. And so they gotta be more masculine. Whatever the responses are, it's all fine. It's part of the change on planet Earth that's happening right now, and it is good. So I ask you off the top, is soul a gender? Is divinity a gender? Is spirit a gender? Is universal life force, the one, the all, energy, eternal consciousness, all of that, is that a gender? No. Out there in infinity, out there in eternal universe, out there with life force that has the sun give us life and heat, that this energy that keeps our glorious galaxy spinning in harmony, there is no gender. Gender is created by human beings here on planet Earth. Not by God, not by the divine, but by humans on planet Earth. So you do know that you are soul divine, yes? And who you think you are as soul living in a human body is defined by who you think you are. I'm going to repeat this. You do know that you are soul divine, yes? And who you think you are, a soul living in human body, is defined by who you think you are. So there is energy all around. Our bodies, including our brains, receive the energy, and our brains will fire electrical charges, and these charges will be interpreted as information. And this is called thought. All thought is created where? Not in here. In here. Not even in here. It's in here. Although the Chinese call thought sing, and it actually means thought from the heart. So that's a more expansive way of thinking. What they talk about is like intuition. Not thought. Intuition is not thought. It's intuition, higher knowing. All thought is created in the mind and the brain, and it is an interpretation of energy. And how we interpret energy is subjective. There is no one truth, no one idea, and it all begins in your mind. So if you think you are man, woman, divine masculine, divine feminine, ugly, you have to be tough, not good enough, not lovable, not spiritual, you're stupid, all these thoughts about yourself influence your belief in who you are. And these thoughts shape who you think you are. So because it influences, shapes, and impacts your beliefs about who you are, it then also impacts your access to the divine. That is why so much spiritual work, practice quieting our minds, meditation, sitting in quiet, empty thoughts. Now, of course, there are various cultures to, like the whirling dervish and or dancing, because you are so in your body, you're also not in your thought. So various practices will come up with their practices, but a very common one is to sit quietly. And in Buddhism, we don't try to push away our thoughts. We simply breathe in, breathe out. We notice our thoughts and we shelve them. We don't judge them. We don't have impressions. We don't have thoughts about our thoughts. We just put them aside. We know that thought is not real because it's just a thought. So we breathe and sit in emptiness. And in all cultures all over planet Earth, we know that God, divinity, source, spirit can only come and speak to us when we are not stuck in our ego-bound thoughts. Because why? We are soul living in human body. And the symbol, I am a symbologist, as the wizard, that's my thing. The symbol of Vesica Pisces, I'll show it here. This beautiful symbol is exactly this. It's the union of heaven self and human self. But what have the humans gone to make it mean? They've gone and made it mean feminine and masculine. You all know this one. Same as this symbol, my peoples, the yin and the yang. We never ever called it feminine and masculine. It's them white people and the English speaking and lost in translation, projecting their own beliefs and gender stuff, said it was feminine and masculine, but it never was. It was always just yin and yang, which is the harmony of two opposing energies, fire and water. So let us get clear about what this practice of calling the divine feminine and divine masculine is all about, okay? It is simply the desire to connect more to aspects of our heart, our emotions, our expressions, and energy fields that we would love more connection with. So I break this down. Divine masculine or divine feminine are the energy fields, emotions, and expressions of love, compassion, tenderness, vulnerability, receptivity, softness, gentleness, flow, ease. Divine masculine are energy fields, emotions, expressions of action, movement, strength, interception, perseverance, courage, fortitude, power, vigor, confidence. Divine feminine would be activated by the element of water, and divine masculine would be activated by the element of fire. Hence, yin and yang is a great symbol for this harmonious balance. So, why don't we just use the actual words to describe this energy and emotions? Why don't we just call it love, compassion, receptivity, courage? Why do we go and call it divine masculine and divine feminine? Have you guys ever wondered that? I had to think a little bit. Actually, I had to channel a little bit. And then it just came a couple days ago. There is something almost romantic, as in hetero-biased romantic. Hetero-biased means man, woman, that's the preferred way to be and the normal way to be, the normal. There's something very romantic about speaking about God, source, divinity in this way. It's another way of talking about spirituality and the divine. And for folks who have been colonized Christian, this access to spirituality no longer talks about the one man God. It is now more relatable for the humans. It is a dual, a concept of a man woman, once again, hetero biased, and it pulls on the heartstrings and emotions and energies of love, romance, and erotic pleasure. It is the spiritual version of the boy girl rom com. Now, also, calling yourself a divine masculine or divine feminine just seems so much more special, right? So much more holy, so much more spiritual than just being I'm an ordinary man working on my sexist issues by being spiritual. There is such an inauthentic flavor of pretentiousness and vanity when one calls themselves that. Oh, I'm a divine goddess, I'm a divine feminine. Ugh, it drives you crazy. And it feels like they're just trying so hard to be more holy and more spiritual than others. It seems to be a very ego-driven statement. I see some nods, so good. Thank you. There's some support on this point of view. Remember, what I say is not the truth. It just provides more freedom, more joy, more access, more power. We are human beings on planet Earth in 2024. We're still living in an old paradigm of gender. So when the portal of 2020 opened, humans on planet Earth were thrown into a new reality. And this new reality, old paradigms are collapsing. So old ways of looking at all these things, race, gender, sexuality, body types, intelligence, financial practice, government bodies, land, country, indigenous peoples' rights, the old ways of looking at all these issues are collapsing. We are becoming aware that these old structures keep people in oppressive states and in disempowering beliefs, with no true power, no access to the divine, no access to spirit or accountability or self as source. Now, this is a powerful time. A few generations of the tower, a few generations, no, it won't be generations, it'll be a few decades of this tower energy, the release and death energy, and then we'll move into regeneration, recreation. It is the phoenix rising of the human being on planet Earth right now. And this being the dragon year, it's the year of release and purification. You feel it, right? People notice. Shit has been happening for everybody. So as spiritual practitioners, we need to be very clear to guide and teach our fellow human beings living on this planet to move into dimensions of love, light, and joy, and we need to be clear about what we're teaching and practicing. I will boldly say the divine masculine and divine feminine concept is flawed and extremely biased. It's stuck in old gender paradigms that perpetuate the gender binary, a construct that keeps sexism, heterosexism, homophobia, trans, and gender-based stereotyping, hatred, and violence alive. So let me walk you through two foundational concepts that I teach in all my gender work. We view life through a gendered lens. Humans, Homo sapiens, do this. The animals do not do this. No other creature on earth except the human beings do this. What this means is that we look at other humans through a gender lens. We have been trained, we have been brainwashed into always needing to know what gender that human being is. Is it a boy or girl? Is it a man or woman? And in fact, many of you cannot even move on if you cannot identify the gender of the human in front of you. You know that, right? With the growth of all these amazing non-binary folks, they're not adhering to the same old gender codes, and it stops a lot of people. People have no idea what to do with us. It's very good. We love that. So we do all live life still through a gendered lens, which means when a baby is born, most people need to know what? Boy or girl, right? They don't say, oh, what a beautiful miracle. Yay, so happy, so cute, so weird, so squishy. No, they say, is it a boy or is it a girl? And then from knowing this, get this, we then decide how it should be raised, how it should be treated, how it should be valued, what it can and cannot do, what it should wear and should not wear. Now, everything about this child is decided for it because why? We, not the child, but the adult decided it was a boy or girl. Now, when this child grows up, it begins to believe that it can and cannot do certain things. It cannot wear this, do this, speak like that, move like that. It cannot dress like that. You all know this. All of you have been raised in a gendered lens. Women particularly. You know, there's a lot of you women here. You've been told you cannot do this because you're a girl. You know how restrictive this gender has been, right? And all of you, I promise you, have all desired something more or something different, right? Men too. Through this lens, we then also view others. We see a man and we decided all these things about that man. We see a woman and we decide all these things based on us seeing them as a woman through this lens. We then judge and we cast opinions, values about people based on our view of them as a gender. We do not view human beings from a freeing place. We have all decided for ourselves and for all human beings what is possible and what is not possible based on gender. We now decided who one is through our gendered lens. So consider that everything you think you are, because you believe that you are a woman, is because of that. You think you are a woman, and therefore everything that you think you are is because you think you are a woman. You were brainwashed from the moment you were born into thinking you were a girl or you were a boy. And through this gendered lens, we view the world through, we force upon each other, we also extend it outside of ourselves, right? We call the moon a she, the earth the mother, the sun the father. We even need to know if that dog is a girl or boy. We decided that the planets too have gender. Venus is a feminine and Mars is a masculine. So this gendered lens is there, and until you know that it was forced upon you and that you wear this lens unconsciously, you will never be free to simply see yourself and other human beings as pure divine light, as divinity, as soul. Now, I was at an amazing spiritual workshop last week, and the spirit guides were all talked about, described as though they were man or woman, masculine or feminine. And I had to work so hard, so hard. I have to do this my whole life, always working so hard to keep setting aside my annoyance and to keep being present with people, keep being present with the amazing spiritual practice that was going on last week. But you see how pervasive this lens is, right? It's everywhere. Now, many of you didn't know it was there until now. Spirit is not a gender. In fact, you are not a gender. Gender was created by the Homo sapiens, the human beings on planet Earth. And it is a set of actions, behaviors, expressive choices, movements. It is a concept to describe certain behaviors, and it is not set in stone. Behaviors and expressions are freely available for anyone to choose, enjoy, and experience. Anybody. Thank you. We mixed up two distinctly different things that threw us into this world where we decided that man and woman was a fact or a truth. We mixed up two things. We mixed up sex organs and gender. And here comes the spicy part. We will talk about sex organs for a little bit because of this whole mixed up thing with gender. And this mixed up thing is the noise in your head. And this noise or belief in your head about gender, or you can't figure out that person, so you can't even be with them because you're still trying to figure out in your head. This noise in your head is what keeps us from accessing our own true divine and from seeing others as divine. Sex organs have only two functions: for reproduction and for pleasure. That's it. What we have is human beings with sex organs. Sex organs is just sex organs. They have no meaning, no value. Form of male sex organs is no better or worse than form of female sex organs. Sex organs does not define who anyone is. We mixed it up and thought that sex organs is the same as gender. And we decided that the human being born with form of male sex organs must mean it's a boy, then man. And then this boy and man has a set of behaviors, traits, mannerisms, and then societal value and status. And you were born with form of male sex organs, testes and penis, and did not behave as man should, then you were bullied, you were hated on, you were laughed at, and you were punished. The same goes for the women gender. Society decided that if you were a human mammal, a Homo sapien, born with form of female sex organs, vulva and uterus, that you were a girl, you were a woman. And from this mixed up meaning, we decided for you that you must behave and act, think, dress, feel, perform, speak, and be valued as a woman. Now, years of this ingrained behavior and the corresponding negative and positive reinforcements by the adults, the peers, and was a form of brainwashing. You were treated well if you behaved like a girl, and you were not treated well if you did not behave according to the gender norms. So get this definition very clear for yourself now. Sex organs is not gender. Sex organs is a part of your human anatomy. It's an organ. It functions, serves a function like a liver, a heart, a stomach. Gender is expression. It's not an organ. It's not part of your human anatomy. It's not who you are. It's simply how you sit, act, walk, dress, talk, what colors you like, how you move, how you relate to others. It is simply a set of behaviors. These behaviors have nothing to do with your sex organs. We need to really pull these apart and see them as two separate things. It's because we have been brainwashed into thinking that they are the same that we get so stuck in the old paradigm of gender, unable to free ourselves and to begin to know ourselves and others as divinity, as soul. Once you know that sex organs is not gender, and it takes a bit of time to unhook this, then we start to pull apart the language that gets us stuck. And then we can finally begin to see ourselves and other humans as soul. And our access to divine is now clear. It's now true. We get to see soul. We get to be soul. And we finally get to be free. Sawubona is a Zulu greeting. It's a greeting from the heart, and it means I see you. I see you is not like I see you with my eyes, but I see you. Not your color, not your ability, not your gender, not your age. I see you. That's that beautiful space for us to come to and to remember. Divine masculine, divine feminine was created through this gender lens. And this same lens that we view everything in life, we decided that these energy fields were gendered. And then we taught it to others, not having the awareness and wisdom that gender is all a concept, it's all a construct, and that this spiritual teaching has nothing to do with gender. Through this gendered lens, though, the Christians called God a man, the Grecians called Aphrodite a woman, we called Kali a woman, a Loki a man. Now, Kuan Yin is the OG ungendered deity. But then over time, due to our gender lens, we turned Kuan Yin into a woman. Because Kuan Yin is the deity of love, compassion, and gentleness, so of course that must be a woman. Many of us now relate to God as divinity. It is not an actual human being. It is simply divinity, not man, not woman. I'm sorry, Ariana Grande. She's a singer, in case you guys know. I will stand my ground firmly here. God is not a woman. Ariana Grande had a song in 2018, God is a Woman, very, very popular song. The post-Me Too era. God is God. God is divinity. Divinity is divinity. And everything in the end is energy. Stop adding meanings and values that genderize everything, and stop perpetuating the gender binary that keeps us bound in these old restrictive concepts. It serves to perpetuate the oppression and the violence. And this belief and practice had its place over the evolution of the Homo sapien. But now it no longer serves us. So using the concept of divine feminine, divine masculine will keep you believing that you are a gender stuck in gendered rules, roles, values. And it's entirely constructed, and it is not freeing. And it is also kind of turns you, especially some of the gendered women, it turns the gendered women into doe-eyed, mindless romantics, always looking for love from your divine masculine twin flame to feel complete, and there is no self-honor and no power there. So if you think you're a woman and therefore access the divine feminine, you may not allow yourself to feel aggression and anger. And these are just as vital emotions. You cut yourself off from all your beautiful humanity with this concept. Plus, it's archaic. And this concept also reinforces the gender binary and doesn't allow full freedom of expression and choice. Accessing the divine masculine and feminine is not accessing the divine. It is simply accessing more earthbound, more human and ego-bound concepts of the divine. Because gender is constructed by the humans. It's like saying, I want to eat the cake, and instead of eating the cake, I go and eat the sculpture of the cake. Do you know what I mean? It's just so silly. So to repeat, the belief in the divine masculine feminine cuts you off from your full range of emotions, expressions, and energy fields. It cuts you off from the divine guidance that is infinite and beyond human understanding. It keeps you perpetuating oppressive and archaic hierarchies and turns you into doe-eyed, mindless, silly, powerless romantics. And it is divisive. It lives on the binary plane, and we are moving into multidimension. Source self and divinity, universal energy is all. It is not one, it is not two, it is all. Everything. So use the words that you want to charge and access and channel. Chuck the words in your speaking, divine masculine, divine feminine, and stop perpetuating all these old oppressive energy fields. Just say and be love, compassion, courage, vitality, softness. So many great English words. We're all speaking English here. Lots of great words to access. So I want to remind you that you are soul divine, you are self as source, and you are energy. You are not masculine, you are not feminine, you are being. You are not man, not woman. You're simply being, human being with sex organs. They have a function, yes, but they do not mean anything. And nor do they have value or under another. We are simply in human bodies that have sex organs for pleasure and reproduction. And you can take on gender because it's a fun way to dress and act and sit and look and behave. And it is as meaningless as wearing a blue sweater over that red sweater. You can still be a gender, but you can now choose it. Because you know why? It's fun. There is a reason why I can be powerful and free. As some of you know me, because I am soul, I am magical, and I am joy, I am light. My gender of man is simply what I like to look like and how I like to behave when I'm around other people. It is how I choose to dress, how I choose to, operate and move. It is not who I am. When I was 5 years old, I asked, what is wrong with this planet? Why are there only two kinds of people? Boy or girl, man or woman, and why do they keep making me a girl? I just want to be me. I just want to be happy. And that is what I want for all of you. To be happy and free. And I'm here now 50 years later, having lived a life where I got to personally experience what happens when we are disconnected from source because of thoughts, beliefs that keep us in judgment and separation. I am the first Asian trans man to come out in Vancouver, Canada, 2001. Now, through decades of hatred, racism, transgender, hatred, homophobia, violence, all sorts of great stuff, family disownment, suicide attempts, even, I have experienced isolation and hatred. And because I'm a new being on planet Earth, I'm a light being from an unknown dimension, this journey has been vital to teach me about human nature, about the existence of what humans do on this planet. Now I've done my work on my human self, and I can now done all that healing work so I can release all that suffering as a result of enduring human hatred. Now I can be a clear channel so the guides through me can teach this to you. So I know my soul is divine. I see you. I want to remind you of who you truly are as well. And you are divine. You came to Earth to experience this glorious planet, taking this form of a human being, a Homo sapien. And now in this infinite, with your infinite wisdom as a child of the universe, you are here to guide and teach the humans to live in love, joy, and light. And you cannot be the fullest embodiment of love, joy, and light as long as you keep thinking and seeing and restricting yourself to a gender. And being the concept of divine, masculine, or feminine cuts you off from your whole divinity. So who are you really, my friends? Who are you if you are not your gender? Who are you as soul? So start looking honestly and begin to allow your true source, your soul, your light to unfold. Be you. You are a child of the universe, no less, no more, no man, no woman, no divine masculine, no divine feminine. You are you. And you are pure, perfect light. Now it's time to step into this and shine. We are done.
You are so powerful, my friend. I love you so much. I love
Thank
listening
you.
to every aspect of that because you're speaking your truth. You're coming from your heart. That's what makes it powerful. That's what makes it purposeful, right?
It's great. Thank you.
You are a light for sure. Lots of nice
Thank you,
comments.
Z.
There's not lots of nice
Aw.
comments there. And honestly, when you talk when I heard you first start talking about this, that was a long time ago though. When I
Mm,
first heard you kind of playing around with the thought process and whatnot. And I it was one of those things that kind of went by me. Do you know what I
mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
I was doing my thing, whatever my thing is, and I was where I was. And then when you brought it up again, and I thought to myself, holy, and you know how immersed I am in the spiritual community. So not just, locally, I'm immersed internationally, globally. So, and I thought to myself, holy crap, he's totally not wrong. That whole divine feminine, divine masculine thing, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It is crazy. But then you also said the spiritual people are going to go
Oh,
ballistic.
oh, they hate
And
it
they
so
did.
much. They
They
do.
all were like, "What do you mean I'm not a divine feminine?
I
What
know,
do you
right? That
mean I'm
ego is
not?"
so
And
upset.
I said, "Well, you are what you are, baby, but do you have to have a gender with it? Like, does
Mm-hmm.
that?" And they couldn't grasp it at first. And then
Mm-hmm.
some came around, but you get, it's like you said, you get brainwashed.
Yeah.
You're
You get
taught when you
brainwashed.
that to
Yep.
believe in this. This is it. This is what you got. This is what you
Yeah.
get to work with. So I'm just utterly thrilled that you got a chance to come on here and do this kind of work and
Thank you.
let
Thank
let
you.
people
Thank you.
hear a different perspective. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, if anyone
Mm-hmm.
takes anything away, it's just a perspective. What you do
Mm-hmm.
with that is yours.
Yep.
And I appreciate that. I want to take this opportunity though, before Tien, I ask him for his last words, to just remind everyone, I'm going to drop it right now, that Tien has graciously offered a VIP gift. The VIP member, it's not membership, the VIP gold package, whatever you want to call it, baby, is $75 with $2,500 worth of offerings from all the speakers, including Tien's, which is a beautiful, beautiful gift. I'm trying to read it. Where the heck did it go? Unhooking session. There it is, via Zoom. This is powerful. I would highly recommend that if you get the VIP, I highly recommend you get the VIP anyway. But if you get the VIP, you go and check Tien out and see what this is all about. I certainly appreciate this. And the links are all there to get the VIP. And I'm going to just say to you, Tien, is there any final, parting words that you want to give? Anything you want to touch on one more time?
We have a workshop.
We do. And you know what? I think I've actually become savvy enough in my
Thank you.
pray to the great. I say that now, but now I'm scared. So just hang on. I think I can do
Yeah.
it. I'm going to
Yeah.
drop the tile we had made, and it's just a teaser, you guys, but I'm dropping the tile we had made. And there's more information coming, but I did it. There's the tile. Click on it now. You can look at it.
Yay!
It will also come
I'm
out everyone that's
excited.
registered here. So every single person that is registered here is going to get this tile in an email at the end of the summit. Whether you bought VIP or not, you're still going to get some of the free gifts that come with the program and the summit, and you're going to get this tile. And Tien and I will have more information about it, such as dates and times and everything then. But click on that so you can follow us. Make sure you're following me and Empowering Intuitive Souls. Tien has been in there before. He's coming back. And he's creating content, as all the beautiful souls that work with me do, so you can see what he's up to, what he's doing. And on a final note, I just want to say to you again, Tien, I'm proud of you, which may mean absolutely little, but I'm proud of you. And I feel that this is definitely your passion and your purpose.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for creating the safe space for me to speak. And thank you, people. I felt the love from you, and it's so great to see a bunch of my own queer community.
And
My
for those
sweet,
of you,
my
there's a
sweet
lot of people
queers.
on here, Tien. Let me tell you that. There's a lot of people on here, and I was putting out the good vibes, and so were you. For those of you that are local, Tien will be participating in a couple events with me. He will be at the First United Spiritualist Church, May
25.
Thank you. May 25th. Oh my goodness, you're going to be busy. So May
Mm.
25th, you'll be at the fair, and that is a fundraiser for the Spiritualist Church. And then May 26th, you will be at the Summer Solstice Psychic and Wellness Fair. And that is a full day with speakers and readers and energy practitioners and vendors all over the place. So come and see us. You're getting a ton of beautiful comments, Tien. Jamie says, thank you, Tien. Ira says, thank you very much. Diane Beta. Hello, Diane Beta. Says it was fantastic, amazing, and informative. Well done. Mucha
Mucha.
says, thank you.
Yay.
Jamie says, thank
Mucha.
you. Stephanie says, love you, Tien. Always lovely to hear your teachings. Marie says, is there a Q&A period here with Tien now before you end?
Nah, too late.
Well, I mean, Marie, if
If
you
there
have
is
one,
one,
if there's one question, Marie, if you want to have a quick question, we have to be off here at 7:50 to accommodate the next practitioner, which comes on at 8. So, Marie,
or
did you
5
want to ask
minutes,
a
or 4
question?
minutes.
Yeah. Did you want to ask a question, Marie?
Just come off mute and ask.
Yep, just come off mute and ask.
No question? Okay.
No, I don't really have a question. I thought maybe there would be other people with questions.
Okay.
But that was great. Great
does-
presentation, as always.
Thank you. Thank you. Does
Mhm.
anybody have one question we can handle in 2 minutes? I'm sure we can.
I do have a question. Where are we going from here?
Where are we going from here? What do you mean? Where are we going?
I mean, I'm sure spirituality has been around for more than centuries, and I mean from the beginning of the time.
Yeah.
And we are in North America. We are dealing with this whole gender binary, and
Yeah.
even in the spirituality right now, we are dealing with that. So, what is the next step? Do you
Then-
think this movement should go? I think we need this spirituality in the queer community. We also need this spirituality in the world of spirituality. but what is your next goal? What is your next move?
Oh, me.
Yes, what's your next move,
Ah,
Tien?
me. Ah, that's great. Thank you. Well, I want to keep on teaching. This is my sole purpose. My book is coming out at some point. I do have an Upgraded Gender IQ Connecting Soul to Soul book. And then I will follow up after that with the divine masculine, divine feminine, debunking a very popular myth or something like that.
That sounds perfect, though.
Yeah. So I'll write those books, and then, honestly, anybody an opportunity for speaking, teaching, and workshops, I teach workshops, just contact me, because this is what I love doing. And I do teach upgraded gender IQ workshops as well. And I'm speaking in Edmonton at a sexual health conference in a couple weeks. So I'm doing a lot of things, and I'm doing a dance workshop, dance and movement workshop next week with Danielle
look at you.
Diamond to explore gender and busting that. So there's a lot of different things I'm up to. So if anybody wants to work with me or something else, just collab. And then the workshop, Tara and I creating together for June, very excited. We'll get to finally be a little bit more spiritual in that workshop that I never have been in my regular upgraded gender IQ. So it'd be great to do in some visualizations and, all those kinds of great access tools.
I just want to add something to Izzy's kind of comment, spirituality, where do we go and with all of this? The idea that we are just having this conversation is huge
Mm-hmm.
because there is a very, very strong divine masculine, divine feminine movement in there. And just the idea of trying to debunk that for them causes great trepidation because they see the gods and they see the goddesses, and they lump the gods and the goddesses in specific. Even when I do ritual work, right, I'm working with this energy because it provides this. So it is a lot of work to turn that around, but it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done before in other ways, so it can be done. But this is going to be a long, long journey of opening people's minds
Yep.
and saying, hey, baby, look at it from this perspective. And
Yep.
you know what? I always say we can't force people
Nope.
to see anyone's opinion or thought process, but if you don't speak it, they don't have an opportunity to think.
Yeah. And just quickly, thank you, Tara. And quickly to cover that part with Marie asked, yes, you stop using those words. You stop using the word because you will keep on perpetuating it as long as you keep speaking it. So what I said to you was you use the speak it for what it is. I would like to access more love. I would like to learn how to open my heart so I can be more compassionate. Don't lump it all into a gender thing. Absolutely. Everybody should be taught about children. Don't worry about children. Children are pure free beings. It's us stupid humans, adults, that went and beat it out of them. The kids now are great. They're in a vibrational field of non-binary. They're clear, they are soul. And then it's up to the parent to stop beating it out of them. So it's not the children, it's the parents that need to be educated. Leave the kids alone. They're great.
On that powerful note, we are going to wish everyone a fabulous evening. I'm very grateful for all of you that came to the Facebook community that was watching. My heart to yours, Tien.
Thank you.
Yes,
Me too.
absolutely.
Me too.
And please stay on. Shannon Komar is going to be on next at 8 o'clock, and she's going to be doing embodied empowerment. Come home to your body. She is an amazing yoga teacher. And so she and Kiara, my lovely assistant, is going to run that whole session. I am going to go and rest my vocal cords. And I don't know, maybe have some wine. So nice to end with you, Tien. Everyone else, you stay on.
Thank
Don't you
you.
leave poor Shannon behind.
People know how to find me. Thank you. Have a good night.